We often wonder about this question uh, that is everything predestined? Are we just all slaves to fate? Is everything predestined from the start? Are we just operating on something that is written before us? Or do we have free will? Free will. Now, today I'm going to give you an answer that will remove this doubt from your head forever. You always would have pondered whether it's fate or do we really have free will. People say that things are destined to be a certain way, and sometimes you feel, no, I can, I write my own fate, I write my own future. What I do today changes the future. And it always ends in a doubt. You have no way to know, right? You have no way to know. You just have to rely on belief. Some people believe that it's all fate, it's all in the hands of God, as they say. And some people believe it's all you. You write your own fate. You make your own fate. And there's no definitive answer. People just choose to believe whatever they want to, or whatever they feel like, or based on their current circumstances, they just grab on, they just latch on to an answer that satisfies them in the moment. But today I'm going to give you a definitive answer, a way to really know, a way to truly erase this question from your head. Is everything predestined, or do we have free will? And the answer really is, there is no free will. There is no free will. It's all predestined. But one has to be very careful in knowing what predestination is. What is predestination? Otherwise, it's a dangerous proposition. It's a hopeless proposition, right? That we have nothing in our hands. We are just automatons. We are just automatically working, and we have no control over where our lives go. That's not true. That's not true. So let's begin. So we'll begin by just taking a normal example, a normal act, right? Because that is what we are talking about. Free will or predestination, it will lead you to do certain actions, right? And we're talking about actions. Are our actions driven by free will or predestination? So you just take one action. Let's say a simple action like, let's say, pushing a couch, pushing a couch farther away from the television, right? Let's say you are watching television and the couch is just too near the television. You think, if I, back up a little bit, it's just too close. So I should back up the couch a little bit. This is an action, right? Now you might think that, you thought it. You thought it, right? First of all, before even the action of pushing the couch away, the action was preceded by a decision that you took in your mind to push the couch away. So that decision is key, because the body just follows the decision. So body has no say in it. It is the mind. We're talking about the mind. Does the mind have free will, or does it not have free will? Is it just slave to prior written stuff? And my claim is that it's all slave to prior written stuff. And I'll show you how. So you made a decision to push the couch away. But why did you make that decision? Why did you make that decision? It is because you think the couch is too close to the television. And now this thought, where did this thought come from? Did you consciously think of this thought, or did it just come to you? Chances are it just came to you. Nobody thinks about these things. Is the couch too close to the television? Should I move the couch away from the television? Nobody consciously thinks it. It's not some ambitious stuff, or something that is there in a checklist that we've written somewhere. The thought just occurs to us. And right here you can see that the thought was not yours. It wasn't freely willed by you. It just came to you. But we will go further. We will go further. And on going further, what makes you get this thought that the couch is too close to the television? Where did this thought come from? You'll see it'll be some priors, right? Some priors. It probably hurt your eyes. Maybe that could be one reason, that your eyes are sore from all the light from the television. Or maybe you're not able to get the full frame of, maybe it's a large television and you're not able to look at the full frame in one go, so you trying to back up. In either case, these are tendencies of our eyes, right? Our eyes feel tired, or our body feels a certain way, it feels tired, or our mind is trying to grasp the full picture. So that is making us think, that is making that thought occur, that is the couch too close to the television. And now, why is the body getting tired, or why does the mind want to get the full picture of what's happening in the television? Because it thinks that's the right way, because it thinks that would be better. And why would that be better? Why would that be better? It's just an idea in our head. It's just conditioning that has occurred to us. Some level of conditioning is genetic, some is species level. So, us as humans, if we are too close to a light source for an extended period of time, a moving light source, a flickering light source, our eyes tend to get tired. It's not a decision made by us or our mind, it's just our genetic predisposition. And genetic, not on a specific gene level, it's a species level predisposition, right? And this is just one example. You take anything, like, let's say somebody is getting beaten by another person, and you are one individual who has decided to help him out, to fight that guy who's beating the the person getting beaten and save that guy. What makes you make that decision? Not everybody would barge in, but you barge in. You decide to intervene. Where does that decision come from? It comes from an idea of injustice in your head. And where does this idea of fighting injustice come in your head? It comes from probably some conditioning that has happened in your childhood, or it comes from a place where you were once hurt and you wouldn't want anybody else to be in that condition. Or let's say you decide not to intervene. It comes from a past experience of maybe trying to help somebody and the situation turning against you. So you decide not to intervene. In either case, it's our past experiences or past conditioning. And when I say experiences, everything is an experience, past experience, and everything can be called as a past conditioning. But the way I'm using it is that everything that occurs to you, or everything that you've not experienced firsthand, or has just been told to you in the form of stories, or in the form of indoctrination, in the form of advice, or just general advice from people you trust, all of these can be conditioning. Even your experiences condition you to some degree. That is your current mental state, isn't it? So there you have it. Everything is predictated by a past experience. Every decision. There are people who decide a certain way and people who decide a certain other way. Many kinds of decisions are being made every second by billions of individuals across the globe. Not just individuals, but by organisms across the globe, across the probably the universe. But what really is it that's driving these decisions? You'll see it's just past decisions, and the past decisions themselves are influenced by past stuff. So it's an unending chain of causality backwards. Yeah. So that is how everything is predestined. You if I show you two I don't know, two candies, one red in color and one blue in color, you would choose one, right? You'd say, give me any. Even that is a decision where you're not making a decision, or you decide that this decision is not worth taking or fighting for, or just deciding. Or you may take the red candy, you may take the blue candy. All of those are through past decisions. Maybe you're a boy and you've been always been uh, conditioned to like the color blue, so you choose blue candy. Or maybe you are rebellious enough and you take the red candy for some reason. For some reason, that's the quotable condition. You choose that red candy because of some reason. Now, you may or may not be able to investigate and unearth that reason, but know that there is always a reason, right? That's how causality works. Everything has a cause. Everything, when studied as an effect, has a cause. And yeah, that is how everything is predestined. But should we not then act? No, no. There's no free will does not mean that you shouldn't act. You should act based on how you feel, based on what you think is right. That is the predestination. That is the predestination. So if you think you should help out somebody, you should by all means go out and help somebody. If you think the couch is too close to the television, you should move it away. And that will satisfy you, that will put you at rest, and you progress in life. So free will not existing does not mean you don't act. You, of course, act like you always have. And that is all based on predestination. But yeah, there is no free will. There's nothing free. You are slave to your own conditioning. And once you see it, you don't stop acting. Once you see that everything is predestined and the predestination is contained within you, mostly within you, within your own mind, within your experiences, within your memories, your thoughts, the way you have been taught from childhood, it just exists there. So yeah, there's no free will. But that does not mean you are not free to do whatever you think you do. It's just that what you think you should do is predestined. Yeah, that's about it. But as always, I'll not tell you to accept this explanation. If you have counter questions, do let me know, or just ponder on it yourself. Try to answer all the doubts yourself. Because, me saying there's no free will and you accepting there's no free will not do anything. Neither does my saying that there's everything is predestined and you accepting it will help you in any way. It must be your own realization. You must draw this conclusion yourself. You must derive is the right word. You must study your own circumstances, conditions, the way you think, and contemplate on this and draw these conclusions yourself. And yeah, that is true realization. And that is what really frees you from within. So when you know there's no free will and everything is predestined and you're acting just on a conditioning, you lose all sense of specialty. You see, it's just that you've been brought a certain way. That is why you like the color blue. Doesn't mean the color blue is any better. So you don't really fight for blue color. You don't really stress, or you don't really go all out to get blue. That I must get blue. You're just more relaxed. You're just more relaxed. This doesn't apply to all cases. Like, for instance, where that person was getting beaten and you decided to intervene because that's injustice according to you. You really go all in because now you know it's all past experiences and you feel very strongly about it. So you will go there and do your dharma. This in Indian philosophy is called dharma, just walking your path. And the path is predestined, but it is your path. It is your unique set of predestination. I mean, that's one way to satisfy the ego, but the point is not to be egoistic about it. Don't you will when you realize everything is conditioned within you, you start to realize that there's nothing really special about me. I am just as ordinary as anybody else. And that truly is special, right? And nobody is extraordinary. It's all just predestination, right? And it's hard to accept this. It's really hard. I mean, any sane man would fight this explanation. They would say, no, to hell with it. There is free will, and we must act. We have full freedom to act as we think we do. Yes, you have full freedom, but that freedom is not really freedom. You are slave to what you've been taught, to what you've experienced. If you're fighting for your own clan, then you've been born in that clan. Were you free to choose the clan that you were born in? Okay, so there's no freedom because all conditioning is born from the lack of freedom. You had no choice. So you were born a certain color, you were born a certain race, you were born to a certain clan, and now you fight for it. Now you fight for it. So are you really free, or are you enslaved by those parameters that were given to you? Yeah, so it's hard to accept this, but this is the truth. You try to fight it. I'd say you try to fight it with explanation, with good logic, with reasoning. Just don't trash it because it doesn't suit you or you don't like it. Try to fight it. Try to fight it with reasons and explanation. And if you lose, then accept the truth. Just accept it. Accept it by your own accord. That is realization. That is realization. So yeah, don't stop doing any don't just stop in life. That's not what I say when I say there's no free will. Predestination means that you have your unique set of parameters that you take decisions on. Yeah, I'm kind of repeating stuff here because you've gotten a definitive answer today, but just few days after this you will forget it. You will think that I'm free to do anything. Yeah, yes you are, but that's not freedom. The things that you want to do are just as as stupid as the things that other people are forcing you to do. So first step is not to be a slave to anybody else, and the second step is, once you are free from not doing the stuff that others want you to do, stop being a slave to the things that you want yourself to do, right? And then you are truly free. Truly free, free from will, free from volition itself. Now tell me, isn't that better than free will? Being free from will itself? Think about it.